Hello, today I'm going to do a video on rendering your advanced steel models inside Fusion 360, an online application by Autodesk. So first we'll start in advanced steel and we'll open a model. So this is a model I've previously created. Let me see. Open the drawing. So this can be whatever model you wish to use. So I'll just give it a second to open. Make sure everything is ready to go. I just open advanced steel. There's the model. Right. So firstly, we want to make sure all the layers are turned on. So let's turn on all the layers. Connection boxes, construction lines, PDF, cameras. All the layers are on. So we still don't see those elements. So we need to go to the Quick Views tab and all visible, and everything is on. So we want to start deleting elements. So what I would do first is save the model with a different name. So usually I will name it Fusion, F-U-S-I-O-N. Oh, sorry, Fusion. Save. Now, all the elements in the model are turned on. Anything besides the model, I just want to use the main building in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all the cameras. So I'll just select one camera, select similar, delete the cameras. So all these construction lines, you can do the same. Select similar, delete, select similar, delete, select similar for circles, delete. Now, I've also got the PDF is down here, so we can delete the PDF. As you can see, the PDF wasn't registered because I brought this model from another computer. We can delete the compass. Now, I've got some decking on this job. Let's not bring the decking for now. So, let's select all the decking. So, select similar, delete. So, all the decking is gone. Now, I don't want this part of the building over here. So, let's go to the top view. I can select all of this. I'm also going to get rid of the grid lines. Alright, so we're starting to get down to the main building. These reference lines, select similar will also work. You can also do Q select. If you do QS, it'll bring up the quick select menu. And then you can go to multiple, we want to pick circles. Okay, and it will pick all the circles. Delete, and then you can do Q select again, and you can do lines, and it'll pick all the lines, and you can delete all the lines, and then Q select again, polylines and points, so we can delete the points, delete, Q select. We want to do polylines. Okay, some polylines, delete. There's some cameras that were on a different layer. Let's select similar. Well, what we can do also with cameras is we can go to the select menu And we can go to select all the cameras, and that'll pick all the cameras. So we can delete those cameras. I'm not going to use this concrete, I'm not going to use this beam, I'm not going to use this wall, I'm not going to use this. Delete those two lintels. Alright, so we're getting close. So I don't want this lintel either. And I don't want these two lintels. We can leave this beam. I can leave this. I'm going to delete that concrete. There's more concrete here. We can delete that concrete. There's one lintel there. Let's delete that lintel also. Alright, so you've deleted most of that. Alright, there's a level symbol there. Select similar. Delete that. Alright, so most of the objects that we don't need are gone. We can delete these view boxes. They shouldn't affect it anyway, but just try to delete everything. So we can delete this also. Alright, so now we need to get rid of the connection boxes and the welding. So we can filter out connection boxes. You can see down here there's 166 connection boxes. Erase the connection boxes. Alright, now we're getting down to the basics. Now we need to get rid of some of the welding. So you want to delete the connection box before the welding, because if you delete the welding first, it'll delete the whole connection. So select the welds. There's 295 welds. Erase the welds. And that should be it. Alright, so that will do. I mean, really, I would prefer to cut this wall off here. So let's just cut this wall off here. Extrude that down there. As you can see, I create my walls using solids. I find it works best for me. I'm not sure too many other people do it this way, but I find it works for me. Alright, so we'll cut that wall there. Maybe we'll extend this platform out to that wall. So let's copy this over 5 feet, we'll say. Now we can merge those two. Alright, so now we're pretty good. So we've deleted everything. So now what we want to do is we need to export this file. So let's save it again. And now we're going to explode it. So we only want to explode the advanced steel objects. We don't want to explode any of these solids I've created, because we want everything to be solids. So we're going to explode this advanced steel object. So I'm going to save this again, and I'm going to save it to fusion dot explode. Save. Now go to your filter menu, pick all your advanced steel objects, go to your modify menu and explode. And that's going to explode all those objects, so it'll take a couple of seconds. Usually doesn't take too long. Obviously depends how many items you have, how good your computer is. As you can see, I have level symbols in here, which I should have deleted before. So let me see. Let's see if I can select all these. Select similar. I mean, we could almost just bring them in and see what they look like. Select similar. Similar, delete. Alright. So now this is all explode it to solids, and it's saved in a new file, so we still have our original file. So now we want to export this. Now, when you're exporting it to Fusion, the IGES format seems to be the best. So we want to go to the main menu and go to Export, Other Formats. And then here you can see it's IGES, which is because I picked it last time. It may be on something else when you click on it. So I want to save it as that. So I need to select the objects. So window box to select, and then right click to enter. And you can see specific objects exported. It should tell you down here. It eventually will tell you when the file is ready, because it's still working. Because if we go to the folder, yeah, you can see it's not created yet, so it will be created shortly. Usually it doesn't take long. Export job in progress, IGES force exported, so it says it's exported. So there's my IGES file. Alright, so close that down. I can now close Advanced Deal. And then I will open Fusion 360. It's good practice to close one when you're using the other, just to make sure your computer works at its optimum, I guess. So Fusion will open on my own home screen with me logged in. I'm on my laptop right now, so it's a little bit slower than my desktop. So let me see. As you know, I'm sure you already know that Fusion 360 is a web-based. So, you know, it can also depend on your hardware and your computer, and also your internet connection. So I want to show the data panel in the top. I'm going to create a new folder called YouTube. That's that created. Now create a new folder in there. I'll just call it blind. Open that. Now I want to upload into that folder. Select the file. So we want to go to my work folder, which is here, work, blind book, and IGES. Open. And this will open this file. Now it's just open the link. You have to click again here to upload. Check your location. So this can take, you know, a little bit of time. Like I said, there's a status bar here. It depends on your internet, depends on your computer. Generally, it doesn't take any longer than 30 seconds, depending obviously on the size of your model. Excuse me. So I don't know if anyone is familiar with this. I also use Fusion, you know, if I need to create special parts, or, you know, you can just trick around. The license is pretty inexpensive, and if you're not using it for work, you can actually get a free license. So, let me see. This is still working. Upload in progress. So, you know, you can actually output drawings as well from Fusion 360 of your special parts if you want. It's pretty useful. You know, it's good for creating renderings. It's what I use, obviously, for this video. And at the minute, it's what I use on I guess, a daily or weekly basis. So this is completely downloaded, so close. Now we want to open the file. So what the IGES does is your file comes in as the colors it was on the layers in Advanced Steel, whereas if you bring it in another format, it kind of comes in all in one color, and then you'll see you have to render, or you have to apply appearances to each element separately. So as you can see now, this looks, pretty good already. I guess we'll check what view, display settings, visual style is shaded. Which actually looks pretty nice. I think that's pretty cool. So maybe I'll just leave it like that for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on rendering this. So what we'll do is we want to go to Render tab here. So under Design, switch it to Render. You'll see that it changes appearance. So it's changed appearance. So now, basically, this is our model. So we want to apply appearances to this. It looks pretty good right now. I mean, we can create renderings from this right now. I'll give you an idea of how it works. Let me zoom in on this node over here. Just with the basic colors, if you just go to render and just do an in-canvas render, it'll start to render in front of your eyes, basically. And then you can wait. I mean, if you're doing this on your work computer, you can just leave this working in the background. And then when it gets to the point where you want it rendered, you can just save your image. As you can see, this is starting to come in a little bit clearer. My desktop would be quite a bit better than this. So I mean, already you're able to create a rendering. Now you could set up your layers in Advanced Steel with the correct colors so that when you brought it to Fusion, you didn't have to change your appearances, I guess. But it's people like specific colors in Advanced Steel. It makes it easier to work in 2D wireframe, stuff like that. But as you can see, this is kind of creating a rendering. It takes a couple of minutes. It can work in the background. So for now, I'll stop this and I'll go to pick on the appearances, to open the appearances tab. And this is the colors you have in the model so far. So if we can see, I have some saved here, like bolts. So I can pull that up here for the bolts. So if we want to right click, one of these is anchors and one of these is bolts. Sometimes it can be hard to tell which is which, so just right click, select objects applied to. Now if I hover over the bolts, only one of them highlights, so that's not the bolts, that's the anchors. So let's click on the other one, select objects applied to, and you can see, oh, hold on, I'm mistaken, it was the anchors. So this one is the anchors, and the other one is the bolts. So let's pick the other one again, select objects applied to, pick the bolts. Now you can see they all highlight, so it'll change to the bolts. The bolt color will change to this. It's going to apply to all those elements. So now you can see all those bolts have changed color. So now this is my bolts layer. This one I don't need anymore. And as you can see, there's nothing where it applied to. So delete it, get rid of it. It's just going to be confusing otherwise. So this is our bolts. So if we double click on that, we can now change the color of the bolts if we want. So you can make them a lighter color. You can apply different appearances. So we'll just do the colors for now. So let's say we'll make it like that color. Then just do, you can go into advanced. You can change translucency, all sorts, it's in depth. So, if you just want to do the basics, we'll just do the basics for now. So that's done. So I want to change the color of my steel. Generally, the light blue seems to be the best for the steel. So steel satin and opaque. Let me see. Select objects applied to. So that's the steel. So what we'll do is we'll double click on the steel and we'll change it to a lighter color. Now, that's a bit too light. Maybe there, maybe there. Alright, so save that. Now, so that's all the beams. Now, you can see the columns are different colors, so the columns must be this. So this is your beams. So double click on that. Change the name of that to beams. Now, if you choose, you can save this. So you can, can't see that. You can do add to favorites, and it'll add that down to your favorites. You see down there at the bottom. So it should be available. It's not always, but it should be available the next time you go back there. So now with the columns, maybe we'll change the columns to a red color. So this is our columns. We'll change this to a red color. So we'll go this way. As you can see, just when we're doing it, it's changing. So we won't go too dark because the beams aren't too dark. And done. Alright, so now you have that changed. So now we want to do the anchors. You can see the bolts are changed there, but the anchors aren't. So let's just double click on this. Let's name that anchors. Now, anchors, we want to change the color. So what do we do with the color of the anchors? Maybe we'll do the anchors. Alright, we'll just do them slightly different, so it's kind of a light color but different to the bolts. And done. Right, so now we can go on to the library, my appearances, and then there's miscellaneous. We got ground materials, ground plane paper. We want to go to other, environment, concrete. So what we want to do is we make these walls concrete. Now at the minute this is it's bodies components. So this is going to apply these to the body, to the whole body. If you do the face, it'll just do a face. Generally you'll use the body, sometimes the face. So now that's made out of concrete wall, as you can see. So now let's apply that to all the concrete walls. So we can just, this now is concrete. So we can drag this and just put it on each of them, or we can pick the one with the walls, which should be this light one. Select objects, apply to, you can see, and now we can just apply that to all those. Now, so everything that was on the concrete layer is now looks like concrete, which is great. So, sometimes you don't want everything to look the same, so maybe we'll do asphalt, and maybe we'll make all these asphalt. So you just apply them this way, just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. And as soon as these are dragged and dropped to these foundations, to the pads, all these pads now will be on a separate asphalt layer, we could call it here. So they can be changed. They can be changed then easily by going to the asphalt. And then we can change asphalt to just change it to pads. And it's got a bump pattern. That's the image used for it. I mean, you can just apply color to that or whatever. So now, generally, when I have base plates and anchors, I like to add a glass appearance to ground the concrete. and I just do a light one. So now we can see what's going on here. So it's a little bit light, and my anchors are not showing whatever's wrong, right? So that's some sort of a modeling error. So we'll just leave it like this, and we'll open the appearance tab again. Maybe I'll use a different color glass, maybe the blue. Yeah, that's a little better. Alright, so now you have kind of, let's say we have what you want. Now generally I would try and the clips as a yellow as well. So let's do the clips. So what you can do is, this yellow is the clips. As you can see, right, it selects all the clips when I do all. So let's open that and let's name that our plates. That's all the plates. So plates done. Now I want to duplicate that layer. It's because I want to have the clips with the same color. And I would call that layer clips. Oh, sorry. Done. So now the brown is the clips. And sometimes some of the colors are very similar, so it's a little harder to differentiate. Now that's applied to all your clips. So now all your clips are yellow. So now let's say you're happy with what you have here. Now you want to get like, your company logo or something. So you want to do capture image. You want to do a decal. So select the face, pick that face, select the image, select the image. Let me see what I have. And that'll insert your image. Now you can rotate it. You can make it larger. You can change the opacity, scale, whatever you need to do. Opacity is here. Mine is already a clear image, so I don't want it to be any lighter. So that's good. So now I pick it like that. So then that's pretty good. So now what you want to do is you want to do File, Save As, and then I'll save this the second time. So now it's saved with all these new colors in my folder in Fusion. So now you're happy with that, and you say, right, maybe I'd like a rendering. So what you do is go to Render, and you can pick whatever size you want. We can go with a mobile print. Just go in the middle. If you want a cloud render, it'll come up a little better. It's going to use 1 year credits. If you go a little higher, it'll use 3 year credits. So what you can do is just go to 1 for now. What I like to do is do a local render first and make sure it's kind of looking right, and then you can do one in the cloud if you want. Rather do it in the cloud and then you're not happy with the angle you took, and then just click on render. So this will take a second. So it's gonna start to render this image in the background on your computer. So it takes a second. What it's done is it's basically taking a picture of the screen, and then it's going to render. So if you want to see what it's going to kind of look like, it's going to start, if you just do an on-screen render, which is this play button, it's going to start rendering this now right in front of us. As you can see, this is very glassy looking already, even though it's pixelated. But you get the idea, you're starting to get a pretty nice rendering. You can kind of see already, even though it's very pixelated, you can see how it's kind of clearing up already. You can see you can change all the reflectiveness and all those things. and if I zoomed in a little bit, it would probably be a little bit faster, but generally, I will let this run in the background while I'm working on something else, or I'll go back to my advanced steel model and start working. If you have a better computer and a bigger graphics card, it'll generally work better. But let's say, if this is for the sake of the video, I'll get out of this right now, but if I pause that, it then gives me the option up here to capture image, and I can capture that image on the screen. So I want to do the current window size, document window size. I'll do OK, and then it's going to give me option to save it on my computer to downloads. It's going to be called, that's the name, I'll leave that the same. So if I go to my downloads, you'll be able to see what I've got. It's blind book, so it should be here. So you'll see it was what basically I had on the screen there when I chose to capture. So as you can see, the ground is very glassy. Maybe we would want to leave that concrete, but just to give you an idea, you can add your own appearances. You can, let's say, for instance, if we'll stop this, we can check the rendering gallery down here to see how long this is going to take to render. This should be an image. That image that it was rendering should be in the image gallery. I don't see it. It's unusual. The one that I did for the local rendering, there's been an issue with it, so let's see. Graphics Diagnostics. Now usually I don't have an issue rendering. For some reason it's struggling with the local rendering. So what we can do is I'll try the local rendering again. Preparing local rendering. Please wait when an image of the document is stored for the local render. So this takes a second. It's trying to save the data. It's on the screen right now. Once the local renderer's thumbnail will be right. Okay, so it says it's started. So now you can also we can do a render and we can do a cloud render. So I'll just do a cloud render of the same one. Should use 1 credit, yeah. So I'll do render, and they will send you an email as soon as your cloud render is ready. Alright, so if you want, if you want to change the background, you can go to scene settings. If you do, you can pick environment. So now this is going to use the environment, which is, we have to go to the environment library. You can drag this and click a second time on the screen, and it should apply that. Now, generally, these are they don't really work great, to be honest with you. You're better off to just do like a photo boot. Photo boot works pretty good. You can do the background, you can change the color of the background. If you do solid color, click on that, we can do apply. It gives you kind of a, there's a yellow one, is not too bad. If I do like a yellow background, kind of makes things stand out. But generally the grey seems to work the best. Although you don't want to clash it with your concrete, so something light like that. And do OK. Also, you'll see if you go into render again. If you go into your let's say we'll go into concrete, or this was originally asphalt, so I'll go into concrete, advanced. You can see that this is an image, so click on that, and if you click here on the source, it allows you to change the image to whatever you want. So, I could pick something silly like my logo. hold on, I won't ruin the, let me close this out. I've copied this. So if you want to mess around with something, duplicate first. And then we'll edit this and we'll just call it test. So, and then advanced. And then what do I want to do? I want to click on the image. I want to click on the image again. And then let's pick, I have swatches here. So let's pick simple grey brick. Let's see how this looks. Okay, so let's put it in here. Now we haven't applied it to anything yet, so what we want to do is we'll just pick something. Let's pick this one wall over here. We can pick that test. It's applied there. We didn't really see it. Hasn't really shown up there. No, that's not working. See, it's still on the concrete for some reason. I must not have applied it. So let's pick, we'll pick something that's way different. Let's pick the stones. Right, so that's good. So now that's applied. Apply. And close it. So now you have this, it's like a stone wall. Look, it's not ideal for that situation. You would probably want to, you probably want to use that on the ground somewhere, maybe. So I'll change that back to concrete for now. But we can go see in our rendering gallery then if our image is available. Rendering gallery, and there's our image. So it'll take a second to open. I didn't do a rather large one, so there's your image. So now we'll download the image. You can download it as a PNG. We'll put it in downloads and we'll save it. And so now we can go to Blindbrook, and it's going to be at the bottom because it was just downloaded. Double click it to open it. And there's your rendering. Oh, that's the old one. And that's the new one. As you can see, the glass gives off it's quite a nice effect actually. So I mean, that was pretty quick rendering. I mean, if you want to try something that's a little bit closer up, we can go into one of these nodes. Let's go in here. And then we can add a decal here also. Image, select the image. Vision clear, same image. Let's select the face, pick this face. Make it a little bit smaller. As you can see, there's a shine there, so maybe pull it back out of the shine. Close this down. There you go. Okay. Close the rendering gallery. And then we can do another rendering. We can do another local rendering. Render that. And then we'll try and do an on-screen render. See how that works. And then we'll leave it at that. This should be processing. As I said, this is online. I mean, I'm working wirelessly here on a laptop, just so you can understand why it's maybe a little slower. Alright, so that's good. And now, if we do an in-canvas render, let's see what it looks like. So that's 12 seconds. So I think, you know, sometimes this can take up to 3, 4, 5 minutes, but like I say, you know, you can be working away on something else in the background. Just leave this running, just minimize it down in the tray on the bottom and then go back and check on it. Just make sure you don't click on the screen, because if you move it, it'll have to start rendering again. So you can shut it down, you can build it back up again, but just don't drag on the screen. So as you can see, you know, it's starting to clear up a little bit. That's kind of, you know, really, this is just nice to see what it's maybe going to look like when you want to check your different colors, and then you really want to use this render. So either local render or online render. But I think that's it for now. I don't think there's any need to go into any more detail. Maybe, you know, you just got to trick around with the appearances, the shadows. You know, you can work on shadows, the ground plane, flattening the ground, camera perspective, focus length, all sorts of different things. But I hope that helps anyone that wants to do some rendering in Fusion 360 from Advanced Steel. I'm sure it'll work for some other things, and hopefully I'll put together some other videos in the future. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.